There we go. Let's see if this is working, guys. Sorry about that. Messing with some new software here, so I do apologize. There we go. Let's see if this is working, guys. Sorry about. All right. So let's start all over. So hope you guys had a fantastic holiday. I'm Scott Mulchin with the $1 Million Landscaper, and tonight I wanted to hop in and chat with you all about why you need to understand the numbers that go into your estimates. We see so many landscapers come and go in our area, and we started looking at it and trying to figure out why are they coming and going? What is going on? What's causing them not to stay in business? All right. Appreciate you guys. Sorry about that. A little mix up there. But yeah, we see so many landscapers come and go in our area, and we're from Northwest Indiana, and we started looking at it, and we realized it's not because they don't know how to do the work. They're fantastic at doing their work. They know how to, create the beautiful stripes. They know how to install that beautiful patio, make the pergola, water features, whatever it is. They do it great. What we found out is they just were not pricing their work accordingly, and they just didn't have the money in the bank. They just couldn't sustain what they're doing. And like I said, it turns out that they just weren't making enough money to survive. And we hate to see that. And this is why we created our $1 Million Academy and created the $1 Million Landscaper podcast, because we wanted to share with you and give you some tips and advice on how to not only price your work, but how to keep those great employees, and all that goes into running a landscaping business. So we wanted to share that all information with you. So like I said, tonight, I want to dive into some of the key numbers that you need to understand. We have our landscaping business owners Facebook group, and we see people ask questions all the time of how much should I charge, or what should I charge for this, or what should I charge for that. And we see some people give some good answers. We see people give some smart aleck answers. And I wanted to kind of address that. Sometimes we see people say, you need to know your numbers. You need to know your numbers. Well, you might be asking yourself, what numbers should I know? What goes into this? I understand, maybe people understand that I have to understand my material cost, and they kind of look at, well, I have a couple laborers and that, they're paying 15, 20 bucks an hour, whatever you're paying them. And you understand all that, but there's a lot of things that go into that. So just for example, your employees, yes, you have your base pay. So whatever you're paying them, 15, 20, 25 bucks an hour, whatever you're paying your employees, but there's also the labor burn that goes into it. So you have your FICA, your FUTA, SUTA, which you may understand, you understand all that. But there's also the cost that goes into supplying the shirts, supplying, if you give them a boot allowance, the safety goggles, the gloves, the hats, the jackets, all that stuff. Plus, there's vacation time, sick time. If you give any of their employees that kind of stuff, that is an additional thing. The other big cost to those employees that we don't necessarily think about is a downtime labor. And downtime labor could include, if you have your employees stay and change oil in the vehicles, sharpen blades, do any work around your shop, painting, putting new gravel around the shop, doing whatever, mowing your shop. Those do not pay. You're not getting paid for those. So that is downtime labor, and that is a huge cost. And that's something that can definitely, hurt your business. Another thing that goes into having those employees is the time of loading up in the morning, unloading in the night, going to the gas station. You're not getting paid for those. So again, that is downtime labor, and that's something that could definitely hurt your business. So that is one number you need to understand. So you need to understand not only just the base pay, but the FICA, FUTA, SUTA, all those types of things, but all the labor, which includes that downtime, which includes the unproductive time, which includes vacation, sick time, any benefits, uniforms, t-shirts, all those types of things. Those all go into having employees. And then you have your equipment costs. Your equipment cost is a huge number. And you would be very, very shocked when you start putting together and looking at what fuel loans costing you, what tires are costing you, maintenance is costing you. And that is another huge cost that we see many landscapers just not charging for. They don't think it's costing as much as it does. We had a member that just went through our numbers course here, our estimating course here a few months back. I think it was in October. He realized that for his truck that he drives alone to just go out and do estimates and stuff is costing $7,000 in fuel. $7,000 just in fuel. And it finally hit him. He's like, holy cow, this is just one of my trucks. I have a couple other vehicles and his equipment, everything else he has. It adds up very, very quickly. Just to give you an example, like a weed eater costs $2,000 a year, just a single weed eater, $2,000 a year to run, operate, maintain, string, fuel, all that stuff. That's just a kind of average price. So it's one of those things, if you're not charging enough, you're not going to be covering all those costs. Another huge number is your overhead. Overhead is something that is basically, kind of back end type of stuff that goes into owning your business. So it might be having your CPA. It could be your advertising, your marketing, your website, your owner's salary, your owner's overhead vehicle, your secretary, bookkeeper, those types of things. That is some of the overhead items that we see many people don't think about or don't consider, but all that goes into play. We had a huge issue in our business early on where we weren't charging enough to recover our overhead. And this is probably one of the biggest things we see many landscapers fail on, is not charging because they don't know how to put it all together, not sure how to recover all that. And we see many times they'll take their numbers, take the material and multiply it by 2, by 3, whatever it is. And that's what they charge the customer. And that may work for a while, but once you start growing, you start adding on more overhead and you keep doing that, that's not going to work. The funny thing I see landscapers do is when they do the factoring, they charge the 2.3 or 3 times. That is the same damn number we used 20 years ago when we did our estimates. That's how my dad first started teaching us, was to do the factoring. And, yes, it's easy to do. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But overall, it doesn't make for a good, consistent business. You can't run a consistent business, a profitable business, I should say, over the lifetime of your business. If you win some, lose some. That's not how it should be. You should be planning to make a profit on every single job you do. And not be able to charge your estimate or just kind of guessing because you're multiplying by 2 or 3. Like I said, we did that same number 20 years ago. How is it the same today? There's no freaking way it's the same today. So yes, I understand material prices have gone up, but so is your overhead, so is everything else. So there's no way that's going to be accurate, and it won't stay accurate for a long time. So as you grow, that number will not work. So you have to be charging for your overhead. You have to be charging for your equipment. You have to be charging for all your employees, and of course your materials. That's without being said. But if you don't know how to figure up your overhead, you don't know how to figure up all your equipment per hour, you don't know how much to figure in for all your labor, and you are going to be shorting yourself, or possibly shorting yourself, when you do your estimates. And that's something we see landscapers do time and time again. And this is why we see, those landscapers that are out there, they're lowballing. They're not charging enough for it. And, you see the other landscapers are mad. But those low ballers, we look at them, they're probably not going to be around very long because they don't know their numbers. They're just going to keep doing what they got to do, and they keep pushing, and eventually they're going to go out of business. So we want you to succeed in your business. We want you to be successful in 2023. That's why we have our $1 Million Academy. We have another profitable estimating course coming up on January 21st and 22nd. We would love to have you part of that course. And if you need some help trying to figure out these numbers, trying to put them all together, we can definitely help you work with that. The profitable estimating course, we do it in 2 days. We spend a Saturday and Sunday, 2 full days. We're going to go through your numbers. We're going to go through your overhead. We're going to go through your your equipment. We're going to go through your labor and show you exactly what it is and help you put together those numbers. The second day, we're going to take those numbers and put them in an estimating system. We're going to give you our plug and play estimating sheets. So once the first day you do all that, you figure out all your numbers, you can apply those numbers right to the estimating sheets and quickly put together an estimate. We just to give you an example, one of the members that took our profitable estimating course here from a few months back, he went out and did a lighting job, and it was like 5 or 6 hours away. It was a huge lighting job for him, and he went out there and he wanted to get the estimate done very quickly. So he used our system, put together numbers during our numbers course, went out there, did the estimate for the customer, and I don't remember exactly, but it was like $50,000 for a lighting project. He was able to quickly put it together and was able to give that customer the bid right then and there. After talking to him for 10, 15 minutes, he was able to put together the estimate, give it to her, and he sold the job right on the spot because he was able to give her the quote right then there from using our system. Our system is so customizable, so easy to do. Just takes a little bit of work on your end, but it's all plug and play. We give you all the calculators. We give you all the tools you need to put together this estimate. So If this is something that interests you, definitely check out our profitable estimating course. Actually, I think I have a link on here. We do have an early sign up. Sorry, I should have had this already. I wasn't really planning on talking about this, but so yeah, I do have that right there. So we do have our milliondollarlandscaper.com/early bird. If you are interested in this course, it's a 2-day course, 2-day live course. We're gonna have people come in and talk about it over the next few weeks, but it is an amazing course. Like I said, we spend 2 full days, plenty of time for questions and answers, and help you figure out what you need to charge for your estimates. For your customers. So you putting together profitable estimates. Like I said, we need to be planning to make a profit every single estimate we do. And the only way you can do that is by understanding your numbers. The nice thing we see when you start understanding your numbers, you gain so much more confidence when you go out there to give that bid to that customer. You can easily walk away from that job and tell the customer, yes, this is our price. And if they say no, they can't afford it, you can easily walk away and say, I can't go any lower because I'm gonna lose money, or I can go a little bit lower, or whatever it is. Your bottom dollar, your break-even point. When you put together your estimate, it says your break-even point. So I can't go any lower. You can modify the profit margin you want to make very easily, but your bottom dollar. And like I said, you can confidently walk away from a customer when they try to, get you down on a price. They say, I got another landscaper is a couple $1,000s cheaper. Well, maybe. And at this point, you need to, work on your sales skills and stuff to tell them, express your value and why it's better. But if they won't go down, if they're a price shopper, then your bottom dollar, where you stand, and you can confidently walk away from that. And that is one of the huge things that I saw landscapers do when they go through our academy and through our profitable estimating course. So again, if you guys are interested in this, I'd love to have you part of this course. It's going to be an amazing time. 2 full days. It's January 21st and 22nd. And we are going to be diving into your numbers and be able to create a customizable estimating system for you. In our estimating system, when you put it all together, you're going to be able to print out a job work order for your team. So you're going to be able to tell them, give out this piece of paper. It's going to have all the information on there, exactly what they need to load up, what supplies they need to get. You have your notes, what equipment they're going to have on there. Everything's laid out. And then you're going to be able to do your job costing right from that sheet. So you're going to it's going to pull all the information from the estimate you did. It's going to have everything on there. You just got to put in, what you end up paying for the material, what you end up paying for your employees, the time they put in there. And it's going to tell you how much profit you made on the job very, very quickly. And that is a huge thing. And that goes into any estimating system you do. I don't care if you use our system, you use anything else. You need to be doing job costing. Make sure your estimating system's right and you're estimating correctly. One of the things we see many landscapers struggle with, though, is estimating the amount of time. And that is one skill that you do have to learn as a landscaper, is figuring out how much time it takes. And that's where I see people asking questions inside the Facebook group, like, how much I charge for this? To me, the more appropriate question would be, to ask, how much time is it going to take for this? I've never done an estimate for this. How much time do you think it's going to take for this? That is a more accurate thing. Maybe sometimes you might have some questions on how to figure out material because you've never used this material or something. That's okay. But when you're asking how much I should be charging, nobody can answer that for you but you, because you have all the keys, you have all the information. Nobody knows what you pay for your people. Nobody knows what you pay for your insurance. Nobody knows what you pay for your equipment. No two companies are alike. So when you ask somebody else, how much should I charge for this? They can't give you an accurate estimate. And I understand, yes, you want to be in a ballpark, but you have to charge what you have to charge for your business. I don't necessarily worry about what my competitor is charging. I don't care. I know my numbers. I know where I stand. I have to charge what I have to charge. Yes, there's a point. I understand that you don't want to be crazy and charging, 3-4 times the amount, but you have to understand your numbers and be able to price accordingly. And that's what you're going to learn throughout this course. So again, I would love to have you guys part of this course. It's happening January 21st and 22nd. Get in, sign up early, where you can save $200. It's milliondollarlandscaper.com/early bird. And again, it's going to be an amazing time. Love to have you part of it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can email me at scott@milliondollarlandscaper.com. You can always reach me on Facebook. It's all up there. Instagram. Not really a Twitter fan. We do have a Twitter account. Not really a Twitter fan. And also on TikTok. So I'd love to have you guys part of this course. If you have any questions anywhere along the way, feel free to reach out. we're going to be jumping on lives, doing more of these to get out there and to chat with you and to I hope educate you. We want you to understand. We want you to have an amazing 2023. So hope you guys have a great day, and we'll be talking to you soon. Talk to you later.